how's everybody doing today? I hope all are doing well. Thank you for joining me here today. My name is Stephanie. I'm also known as GLitzzygem. For those who are new to my channel, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And then for those who are returning subscribers, thank you. Welcome. Much love to all of you guys for being here today. So today I'm doing a get ready with me. So this is going over my dangerous experience whenever I was taking my dog, because I had mentioned that I was going to tell y'all my experience going to the vet hospital that night when my dog, whenever I noticed my dog wasn't didn't look too well, and I just felt like I needed to rush him to the vet. So that's what I did. I went ahead and I rushed him to the vet. I got him in the car, and I'll be using my CoverGirl True Matte Made Foundation. I'm sorry. This is in the shade L60, light nude. Yeah, my face looks really dewy and glowy right now because I did a mask yesterday. I did a face mask yesterday, and so this morning I woke up like this. So that's the reason why my face looks really dewy right now. So yeah, so going on with my story was just that yeah, so I did notice that he was, and the reason why I'm using this matte foundation, I'm sorry, is because my face does look really shiny and really dewy right now. So I want to go ahead and use something matte. Nothing that's going to give me extra glow or extra dewiness to my skin. I already have it very dewy right now. So I rushed him to the hospital. Yeah, so that night, that evening actually, when I came home from work, it was Friday. I think it was Friday night. I noticed that he was just, I don't know, he just seemed a little different to me. And then Saturday, when Saturday came around, because I was like, okay, he was pacing, my dad was telling me, because my parents are staying here at the house for a little while, until they get situated into their own place. If y'all do not know, if y'all haven't been following me on my Get Ready With Me's updates, my moving updates, and my vet, my updates, for my vet. Yeah, so my parents are staying with me just until they get ready to move into their own place. Well, they already have their own place, but I'm saying it's like they still have a lot to do, before they're approved to get into their place, as far as like permits go, and as far as how their mobile has to look a certain way on the outside. They want it painted. They want him to fix certain things, because supposedly he's violating, he's violating structural or architectural restrictions, or violating some sort of ACC requirement. So anyways, back to my story. So yeah, so he was telling me, your dog's been, waking me up at night. He's been, because my dog sleeps in the laundry room that's next to the kitchen, and next to the living room as well. Like, the kitchen is next to the living room. So my dad's been sleeping in the living room because I only have 2 twin size beds. So I have 1 twin size bed I'm using, and my mom's using the other twin size bed, because that's how my father is. My father is more like, he's gonna go ahead and allow his wife to sleep more comfortably than him, which is very admirable. Very chivalrous, of my father to do that. So he's been sleeping in the living room, and he would hear the dog just pacing around. He says he kept me up last night, moving around. I couldn't rest. And I said, okay, well, you can lay down. He told me this Friday morning. Well, Friday afternoon, I'm sorry. When I got home, he says, Friday afternoon, he was telling me he was pacing around too much in his kennel, and kept him up. So that Friday afternoon, when he told me he didn't sleep a wink, you know, Thursday night, or yeah, Thursday night. My dad said he didn't sleep a wink. So that Friday morning, or when he called me, oh, that's what it was. He called me during the day when I was at work, and I said, well, go ahead and sleep in my room, you know, sleep on the bed in my room, you know, so that you can, you know, so that you can rest at least a little bit until I get home, you know. And so I think he did. I think he rested when I got home. Then I did notice that when I took my dog outside, it looked like he peed, like he was peeing, but very little. And I was just wondering, like, okay, well, what's wrong? And he kept, you know, staying outside. He kept, you know, wanting to stay outside. I was wondering why he kept taking too long and using the restroom when I came home from work. And he was just like moving around the yard and looking for a spot, you know, for him to urinate. And I thought maybe he just couldn't find a good spot, you know, that, you know, made him want to urinate. So I just figured maybe he didn't have to use the restroom. And when he did use the restroom, it was only like little trickles of water, you know, little trickles of urine, or just a little, like a really slight stream, you know. So when Saturday came around, I started noticing that the stream started getting lower and lower, and where he wasn't peeing at all anymore. And I was worried. So that Saturday morning, you know, I noticed that. And then I took him out again during the day because I was worried about him. And I was like, why isn't he using the restroom, you know? And so yeah, so I took him outside, and he still, he had like either like a very low stream to no stream at all. And then that's when I said, okay, I got to take him to the emergency room. So I took him to the emergency room. And, well, on the way over there, you know, it was already late at night. It was like, I think it was already like close to midnight, or I think it was already midnight whenever I took him to the hospital, to the animal hospital. I'm using my Yensa Silk Bronzing Base. I'm trying to pan this out. That's why I'm using it. It's almost, there's a dip in there. But I'm trying to hurry up and pan it out because I want to get rid of it already. And I don't want to just throw it away, you know? I mean, that's just, I don't like to do that. I don't like to throw away good makeup, you know? So makeup that you can still use, I just don't like to throw it away. So I'm using this for like as a contour, you know, to sculpt my perimeters of my face. So I took him to the vet. It was late at night, and I was like, what else could happen after this, you know? Like, hope nothing else happens. You know, I'm already driving real late at night. It was close to midnight. And then we waited in the lobby. Get there, they charged me $154 just for the doctor, just for the visit. They charged me $154, money that I was, you know, around the time that I'm like needing to move out with. I was using it for the dog, for the visit that night. So $154, and then we waited for the vet to see him. And then I didn't realize that he was urinating blood, you know, like not urinating, but there was blood leaking from him, and it was like a really dark reddish black or brownish color. And that was not, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just now noticing this, because whenever they came out to come and get him after I waited, because I was sitting there waiting in the waiting room for them to come to get him. And when I noticed that you know, I didn't notice that until, you know, they called for him, and they said, okay, we're ready for your dog. And when I noticed that, when I got up, I saw that he was leaking, you know, like a very dark shade, a really dark shade of red, brownish color of urine. I think it was urine, but he was leaking something, and it turned out it was urine. You know, I didn't know what it was. I was like, what is that? I've never seen that come out from him before, you know. So the assistant that was there, the veterinarian assistant, you know, that grabbed him to have the vet take a look at him. You know, grabbed him, took him to the back, you know, where they were gonna go ahead and see what was going on with him. So when they finally told me, I think I already said the story 1,000 times about, you know, how they told me that, you know, I had a choice whether to get him euthanized or get the surgery done that night. And I said, I'll just wait till I get home. You know, I'll take him to the vet on Monday. And that's when they told me that I really need to rethink that because my dog may not even make it until Monday. So I was like very, I was very like, I guess I should say I was very hopeless, you know, hopeless and very helpless with my dog. And I was thinking, this can't be it. This can't be the end of him. I mean, come on. I mean, he's just a, you know, to me, he's just a little pup, but he's not. He's already like 8 years old. He's already 8 years old, so he's not just a pup. And so they brought me out like 2 options for me to choose from on the payment, like on money wise, what I was able to afford. And I said I couldn't afford neither one of them, you know. And then they're like, okay, well, let's see what the veterinarian has to say, because, you know, I was telling them, okay, take that off, because I don't, you know, we don't need this, we don't need that, you know. And then they're like, okay, because there was like stuff that they were putting on there extra, you know, really extra that really wasn't necessary. So how does my face look? Contoured? Does it look a little contoured? More bronze than contoured? So whenever the veterinarian came out, you know, she tells me, I can do one last thing for you, you know, for your pup, for your baby, see what I can do for him, you know, so that he can at least get him alleviated, you know, from the pressure that he's having against his bladder, because she said his bladder was huge. She said his bladder was huge, you know, and he's just a small dog. He's not a very big dog. So she says for his size, it's like it was too big. His bladder was too big. And they did do an x-ray and or an ultrasound, and they did see, I think it was an x-ray or an ultrasound. I'm not sure. She didn't say what it was, but they did see, she did say, but I forgot what it was. She did see the stones in there. And she says he has 3 stones in there plus the one that's blocking his urethra. And it's not going anywhere. It's just stuck there. And that's when I was like, okay, well, let me, well, she says what I can do is I can push the stone back and then see if you can, you know, see if we can let out a lot of his liquids, and you can take him to the vet on Monday. You know, you can do that, but that's the latest you can take him, because I don't think he can go another day. That's if the stone doesn't obstruct his urinary tract, doesn't obstruct it again, then he's good, you know. But if it starts to get obstructed on Sunday, she says you need to bring him back in. But she says the chances of this working is only 10%. 10% chance of this working. I'm going in with my Ofra eyebrow pencil in the shade Universal. So she was just telling me, you know, it's only an 8% or 10%. I think she said 8 or 10% chance that this is gonna work. You know, so no guarantees. You know, so just keep that in mind. And I was like, okay. And I said, you know, but please try to do everything that you can, you know, to get that catheter in him. And so she's like, I'll do my best. And so yeah, I waited for a long time, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time. She says, you know, because if I start having a hard time, you know, getting it in there, you know, there's nothing else that we can do for him, but you know, put him down, because you know, I do not think him going. She said it's not a very pleasant way for a dog to go with his bladder bursting. It's very painful, she said to the dog. So it's not a very humane way for the dog to go, pass away that way. And I was like, I understand. And I told her, I said, if you can just do whatever you can, the best, you know, whatever you can, the best, you know, the best that you can for my dog, I would, you know, that would be greatly much appreciated, just until I'll take him to the vet, you know, on Monday, so that they can do his so they can give him surgery. And sure enough, she came in, she told me success. So we were able to get the catheter in him, and I was so happy. I was so alleviated and happy, and so you just can't imagine my feeling that I had. I was just very, I was able to breathe again, you know. But so the scary part was on the way home. So not only was I already worried about my dog, and I was, you know, a little anxious about my dog, you know, with what he was going through. To make it worse, you know, to make matters worse, you know. So after they went ahead and they pushed the stone back, and they gave me medication, and they gave me medication for him. They sent me home with medication. I keep saying the same thing, sorry guys. I'm trying to concentrate here. When they sent me home with medication and the dog, on the, you know, I was relieved. I was relieved that I was able to go home, you know, with my puppy, my baby. I call him a puppy, but he's already an adult dog. I was able to bring him home. You know, he looked much better. He looked like he was in better spirits, you know, than he was before going to see the vet. That lady, before seeing the vet, the hospital. That's what I meant to say. The hospital, the vet hospital. He was in better spirits after he came out. So, oh, kid you not, on the way home, scariest thing, I started to hear like there was something wrong with the tires, and I was like, what is wrong with these tires? Like, what's going on? Because I kept hearing like the treads were wanting to come off. We're wanting the treads, you know, were you know, it sounded like the treads were like tearing apart, tearing away. And I was like driving on a rim, and I was like, oh my goodness. I had to pull over, because I was like, I do not want to ride on a rim, because if I drive on a rim, there's gonna be, oh, I'm sorry, I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape in Ultra Creamy. So I was like, yeah, I was like, no, I am not going to ride this vehicle on a rim. So, and it's like close to like a 30-minute drive. Well, 15 really, because there was no traffic. But really late at night. It was already 5 o'clock, 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I didn't get home until 4 or 5 o'clock. I think it was 5 o'clock in the morning when I got home. So it was really late that I was driving. It was already like 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, you know, the saying goes, you know, who come out at night, like at 3 o'clock in the morning, who come out? All the cuckoos, right? I'm over here with my purse full of, you know, with my wallet, all my, like my social security card, driver's license, everything in my wallet, You know, I had my puppy with me, and what else? I mean, the car, really, they could take the car too. So I had to pull over, call my dad and my sister, and they both said, just call that. They have like these emergency vehicles, these emergency tow trucks that can come by and take you off the road safely, take you off the freeway safely, take you to the nearest gas station once they exit the road. So that's what they told me to do. Is that they told me go ahead and call them, you know, because they weren't about to come in and pick me up. You know, my dad already told me, no, just call one of those safety patrols, that they're called, safety patrol towing trucks. And I was like, I never heard of these people. I don't know. I guess I'll look them up on the internet, you know, while I'm there in the middle of the night, at night, real dark, you know, on the side of the road. There was no light, no nothing, you know. So I was, you know, gonna look it up, and I was like, you know what, let me just call the police. I said maybe the police officer can come out here and assist me with this. And then my dad said, yeah, call a police officer if you want, if you have to, you know, so they can help you. And I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do that then. But before, when I did call the police officer, it wasn't 911, it was like a non-emergency line. My sister sent me the link, or she sent me like a screenshot of a number that I was able to call. You know, so she sent me the screenshot, and I went in and called the number, and yeah, it was like HPD, you know, people who, you know, who are able to go out and send somebody to help people who are stranded out on the freeway. So, but while I was on the phone with this person, somebody pulls up from behind me and with flashing lights. I'm like, oh crap. I hope these are like legit, you know, either tow trucks, you know, because I was still on the phone with the guy, the guy who was supposed to send me some help. I was still on the phone with them, but suddenly somebody had already pulled up from behind me, and they had some flashing lights, you know, like they were tow trucks or either a police officer. I was like, you know what? I told the guy on the phone, I said, I think somebody just pulled up from behind me. I said, did you send somebody right away? Like, no, I haven't sent somebody yet. Like, well, I don't even know if these people are going to be, you know, these people are here to, you know, help me or they're going to harm me. He's like, well, I'll stay on the phone with you, and while you talk to them when they come to you, to you know, when they come towards you. Like, okay. So he stayed on the phone with me while I pulled down my window, and then sure enough, it was one of those safety patrol tow trucks. And he told me, he told me, he goes, you're all right? He goes, anything going on? I said, I just got a flat. I said, and you know, I need to get it changed out. And he's like, he goes, well, I can tow you to the nearest gas station, and then that way you won't be on the freeway. You won't be stranded on the freeway. I can take you to the nearest gas station, then on the nearest exit to the nearest gas station. And I was like, okay, sure, I appreciate that. He handed me a piece of paper that was explaining to me what company he was, you know, who he worked for, you know, what they provide, what services they provided. It was free. He says, and this is all free. You don't have to pay anything. And I was like, okay, well, that sounds good. I said, yeah, go ahead and pull me over, you know, to one of the gas stations. And he goes, all right, well, let me go ahead and get you, let me go ahead and get you, you know, get you hooked up here so that I can take you to the nearest gas station. I was like, okay, you know, good news. So I was like, that was good news for me to hear. And then he's like, but you're gonna have to leave your dog in your car, because my dog is very overprotective, and so my dog was wanting to bite him, you know, and he was very aggressive towards him, and I was like, no, I know, yeah, he'll stay in the car. And then well, the guy on the phone, you know, I told the guy on the phone, okay, I think this person is legit. I said, I don't think this guy is gonna do anything to me. As I said, I think they are from, you know, from that you know, that organization, you know, that what do you call it? Organization that Patrol. I'm using my BH Cosmetics Floral Blush Duo Cheek Color. This is in the shade Fiji Fun. And that for my blush. So the guy said, okay, well, he goes, okay, well, I'll go ahead and let you go then. It seems like you got your help, and if anything, call us back. And I was like, okay. So, I mean, I was like, this was like God sent, you know, like it was God sent, like this was like a guy immediately just pulled up from behind me. It could have, you know, I mean, I know it was just coincidence, but I'm telling you, I know that God had a lot to play in this role, you know. So I really did feel like, you know, God was there for me, because I mean, anybody could have just came up from another car noticing me, because my car was little, noticing me with my hazard lights on, and they could have just pulled over. Anybody could have just pulled over. Anybody could have just killed me. Anybody could have just robbed me, killed me, did whatever they wanted to do with me, you know. Of course they would have having a hard time, because they were gonna have a hard time because of my dog. My dog wouldn't let them get near them. But if they had weapons, you know, my dog can't beat them, you know. So my dog can only do so much, you know, to protect me. But so yeah, I was just worried that somebody's just gonna come up from behind me and just rob me, you know, because they see me stranded on the road. And so then he pulled me over. He says he doesn't change flats, but since I'm a girl, he said if you were a man, he says I wouldn't change your tire. He says, but since you're a girl, I'll go ahead and change out your tire for you. You know that we're here. He goes, so he goes, do you have one of those not dummy tires? What do you call them? Oh, so do you have a spare tire? And I said, yes, I have a spare tire. And then he goes, okay, well, let's go ahead and when he pulled me over to the gas station, that's when he asked for the spare tire. And he says, I just don't have one of those cross wrenches, you know, to pull the lug nuts off, but I can use yours, you know, from your car. And I was like, okay, you can. He says he was going to be able to use the set, you know, that I had in my car to go ahead and pull the, you know, to change out my tire, you know, to jack it up and then change out my tire. And so come to find out, you know, they pull my spare tire out. They pull it out of the back. He pulls it out of the back, and then he says, this is flat. I was like, what? I said, not only is my tire was shredded from like the sides. It just shredded, like it was just shredded on the sides on the wall of the tire. It was shredded. And I thought it was like, you know how sometimes on the, you know, the front of the tire, you think that it was like something, maybe it got caught, like a nail got caught in it or whatever. No, it was on the actual side where the actual hubcap goes. That part right there shredded completely, and it looked like it was chewed up, shredded. I was like, oh my goodness. I said, this tire looks horrible. I was like, I cannot believe how could this happen? I said, I just drove it that morning. I just drove it around. It's Friday. I drove it the whole week. I said, but it wants to tear up while I'm, you know, in the middle of nowhere. Not in the middle of nowhere, but, you know, it wants to tear up in the middle at 3 o'clock in the morning. It wants to tear up, blow out on me. Coming back from the veterinarian, you know, me already being worried and anxious with my dog, and then having to be more worried and anxious with this flat tire that just blew out on me. And then worrying about if I'm going to get robbed, you know, because it was just me by myself and my baby. And, you know, I was just like, ugh, I'm not in a good place. I was like, I'm not in a good place right here. I'm not safe, you know. But, you know, like I said, like, it was just like, I felt like it was just God sent, you know, to have that guy pull me over right away. Like he came up from behind me, like right away. And that was scary because, like I said, I don't know whether to trust these people or not, because you never know. People always come out with badges and they say they're they're officials and they're really not. And so I heard them stories, you know, so, and their stories are true. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Slay All Day setting spray and the peach, the scent peach, one of my favorite scents. So then yeah, it was flat. So the spray was flat too, you know, but it wasn't shredded or anything. It just needed air. So that we were in a gas station, I said, I'll go ahead and just put air in it. And I had the very little money that I had, at least I had like, I think I had like $1 or $2 in my wallet, you know, even after, you know, paying for, like, I used my card, you know, to pay for my vet visit, you know, but to put air in my tire, I was like, only, fortunately I had like maybe $2 in my wallet, you know. I'm like, what are the odds, you know, of me having no money, you know. If I did, it was like I said, $2, and then, you know, to use for air for the spare tire, and, you know, because it was flat. And I was just so, it was just shocking to me to know, okay, I got a flat tire, then the spare was flat too. I was like, okay, what else could happen to me tonight, you know, that's gonna put me in danger, or that's gonna, you know, that's gonna be, you know, something just very unfortunate like that, you know, what else could happen to me, you know. But it looked up, because after he changed it out, and he changed the spare tire out, I looked for one of those air pumps. He actually looked for them before I even saw it. He saw it. He's like, there's one over there. And so then I was like, okay, thank you. You know, after he had already put the tire on, you know, no charge. So that was a blessing in disguise, you know, like. And then I went to the air pump, and I was like, okay, to the air pump, and I was like, okay, I know I'm gonna at least have to pay $1, you know, at least well, at least I think it's gonna be $1 what it's gonna ask for. So I'm going to use a shade called Vintage. It's like a wine color, like a brownish wine, you know, for my lips, for my lip liner. So then I went ahead and I went towards the air pump, and I was like, okay, I was just already, you know, trying to see how much it would be so that I can put air in it. And guess what? It was free. Come on, don't tell me this is just a coincidence, okay? My tire shredded. That was bad, right? On the way back from the hospital. My tire shredded. Like, out of the whole week, it shredded on the day that I had to take my dog to the hospital. At 3 o'clock in the morning, okay? That's bad. That's bad. Okay, and then that safety patrol pulls up from behind me, you know, really quickly. So that was good. That was a good rescue right there. And actually sent me to the gas station, and then changed out my tire for me, because he said he usually doesn't change out tires for anybody, but he did it for me since I was a girl. Since I was a lady, a woman. He says, but if you were a man, I wouldn't have changed it out for you. I normally won't. He says, we would, but I would have to call out somebody else to come out here for you. I would have to have waited longer for another person to come out. And so then that was good, because first he said that he doesn't change out tires, and I was gonna have to wait, so I was gonna be bad. But then I guess he realized it wasn't gonna be a big deal. It wasn't too hard of a job. Well, so I thought, you know, because he did look like he was struggling a little bit. Not too much. I guess he just wasn't used to just changing tires all the time. It just looked like he just was having a hard time, or, you know, trying to hurry up. It looked like he was trying to rush. He was trying to rush to get the tire off. And then then I went to the pump, and the pump was free. So what are the coincidences and the chances and the odds of all that happening to me? Like that is a blessing in disguise. I don't care what y'all say. But I think that was, you know, God sent, you know, God, I mean, I'm telling you, God has been with me through this whole ordeal with my baby, with me moving out, you know, and coming over here to this new place, you know, this new lot that I moved into, which I still don't know too well. So I don't know what lies ahead of me in this new lot. You know, hopefully good things. You know, there might be some, you know, bad things, or, you know, there might be some, like, not bad things, but like maybe some inconveniences, you know, but hopefully at the end it works out to where I do stay here, you know, quite a long, you know, for a good while, you know, permanently, you know, because that's my goal. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Gerard Cosmetics Hydra Matte liquid lip in the shade 1995. So my lip liner was the NYX Professional Makeup Suede matte lip liner. This is really, really nice. A really nice texture on the lips. So yeah, so that was the end of it. I went ahead and I put air in that flat spare, and then went home from there. But that was my scary experience, guys. Yeah, so that was my scary experience, you know, driving home, you know, from the vet hospital to my house. So yeah, so count your blessings, you know, say your prayers, thank, you know, who you have faith, you know. So it's good to have faith in something, you know, someone, something, somebody. Like I have faith in God, you know. Everybody, you know, has their own, you know, faith, has their own, you know, has somebody who they put their faith in. And if you don't, you know, well, I mean, you know, I'm not judging you or anything like that. Just, you know, I'm just saying, like, you know, moments like these, you know, you just want to, you know, you're just grateful, and like, you know, because in times like these, you're just in awe, like how everything just worked out, you know. And it could just have been coincidence, but to me, I do believe I did have some help from above. So, you know, I believe that. I do, you know, all the way through, because without him, I don't think I would have been able to move out. I think I would have been in a worse situation. I think I would have been robbed that night. I think I would have been killed probably. But God acted fast, you know, for me. That's what I believe in, you know, believe in God. Like I said, everybody to each his own, but I do have faith in God, and I do believe that he was the one to help me along the way and help me, rushed somebody over to help me out, you know. So, but that is everything that I wanted to share with you guys on this Get Ready With Me. I'm gonna do my eyes in another video. So the next video that you'll be seeing my eye look in is in the collab that I'm doing with Emily D today. So right after this video, go ahead and watch our collab, and go ahead and watch Emily D as well when we do our collab. You know, check out our eye looks that we're gonna create. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up next, you know. So I'll see you in my next video. Hope you have a great morning, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.